Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Betrayal at Krondor. Let's continue on through the Macmordain Kadal. I was about to call it the Bracknor, but no, those are monsters. Silly dwarven language where everything sounds the same. All right, we've got a door here. Let's go ahead and quickly save it. Yeah, we'll give it a try. Actually, before I do that, let's pop one of these over, just in case. Okay, 86. Yeah, I think I do keep getting more, but there we go. And his lockpick ability has increased. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave that on you, that's fine. Is that repairable? That is not repairable. Alright, that's fine. As well. Alright, what do we have down here? I think that's the first time we've had a door open onto another corridor as opposed to a room. So that's interesting. Alright, and my torch is going out. Light up a new one. The troll hadn't noticed them. It's anybody's guess whether he's out to kill us or is just taking a stroll somewhere, Owen said. Probably best if we try to avoid him. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's best if we try to kill him. They were not alone. Their opponent seemed completely prepared for an attack, making Gorath wonder if there were reinforcements nearby. In any event, judging by their posturing, he guessed they were well-trained. Well-trained trolls? Ow. Ow. Run away! Let's make sure that we're on that. So, 257 damage with a swing. Down to 109. Well, I was hoping that would kill him, but nope. Good, come after Gorath. Thanks for the miss. There we go. Let's just kill you. Better to kill you than have you dealing damage. Apparently we can stand where the chest is, which is interesting. Boop. And Owen takes one down. Way to go, Owen. So we seem to have a tombstone. Death will come quickly to those who trespass here. Leave now, or your suffering will be 1,000 times worse than that of the one now buried beneath this marker. Turning to Owen, Gorath said, "Shall we dig up this grave?" "Sure, why not?" It's just a body. Disappointing. I guess that's the chest that we saw. What do you have on you? Hey, some restoratives. Always good. How about you? Nuttin'? There's multiple chests here. And nuttin'. Alright, let's go ahead and reveal the room before we do anything else. It's a big room. Okay, so, chests. 3? I think there's 3. appears to be locked. That is a good sign that we should Scent of Sarag. Can be opened with the Gildus Thorn, but let's go ahead and do that. 150 gold and a quality 97 shell. It's not worth much, but might as well take it, right? What about you? Hey, a Mordell Wordlock. Quod. Flat as a leaf, round as a ring, has 2 eyes, but can't see a thing. Button? That's what the holes in them are called, right? Eyes? It looks like it. Perfect. $232 silver. Gambit of the 8. And Black Nimbus. There's not enough room for that. That's enough room there. I suppose we could try tossing that at an enemy. Let's also go ahead and use that on my weapon again. Alright. Let's go ahead and learn that spell. And learn that spell. And I have no idea what these spells do. Let's see if there are things we can cast outside of combat. Looks like we have all of these. What about over here? Nope. Nothing new there. Alright. They're combat spells. Guess we'll try them. Next time we have a fight. If I can. Let's get back onto lockpicking. Okay. He has not seen this one before. There we go. 100 gold coins, and Touch of Limbs Kragma. Do I have that one? I feel like I have that one already. Apparently not. It's fine with me. I'll take it. Again, though, I'm sure that that is a combat spell. Yep. Well, my goodies, all mine. Mine, mine, mine. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, trolls, for giving me delicious, delicious goodies. I don't know about delicious, but did not mean to hit that button. I'm using the numeric keypad for movement, and 5 brings that up. Not that I knew that until I accidentally hit it at one point, which was a pretty long way into the campaign, in the LP, surprisingly. Alright, let's go all the way down here to the end, and we need to rest. There's nothing down that part, but let's go ahead and give you that. Light the torch. Let the light brighten our path. We have another chest here. Sword of Knur. I don't think those are that good. 45 gold, 33 silver. Yeah, not all that interesting. I might as well weapon craft it, though. As long as I am here. There we go. Well, I'll keep it. I mean, I've got enough inventory space at this point that I don't mind picking up a few things. So I'll give this to you for the moment, and just to get that up to 100. There we go. Actually, let me go ahead and give this over to you. Might be something that would be worth him using if he's in a position where he can't use a spell. Alright, back onto the main path again. And we have T junction. Let's take the left route. Almost missed that pit. Let's be a little bit more careful. And all we have is a dead end. Alright. Why does this use up ropes anyway? What is it? Do we swing and it disintegrates? I don't know. Oh, hello. The Brackenur hadn't noticed them. It's anybody's guess whether he's out to kill us or is just taking a stroll somewhere, Owen said. Probably best if we try to avoid him. They agreed to attack. Going over the plan as quickly as possible, Owen laid out a simple strategy. We're set then. Let's just hope our advance is undetected or our advantage will be lost. Let's get you back onto scouting and stealth. Save it. Alright, another fight with a Brackenur. They hadn't been seen. Charging forward into the murky darkness, Owen finally caught sight of the creature and gasped at the size of it. Glancing over his shoulder at Gorath, he sighed, "This is going to be harder than I thought. You know we killed one before, right?" I suppose that's true. Okay, where is... So there's the Touch of Limbs Kragma. Kills one enemy. Kind of figured it might be that. Black Nimbus deactivates trap crystals. Oh, hey! Oh! Oh, nice. Alright, Skin of the Dragon. Max level on you. Boop. Let's go with Skin of the Dragon on you. Boop. And down he goes. 2 hits. Wow. I was not expecting it to be just 2 hits. Yeah, Gorath is getting a bit powerful, isn't he? He's doing some good work here. Let's go ahead and use some naphtha on the sword. I mean, the clerical oilcloth does help. It's a shame you can't get like 20, a stack of 20 or something. The long corridor stretched before them. This must be the passage to Alvandar, noted Owen. If we go this way, it may take us a few hours to get to the end. Are we up to the climb now? Yep. Hours passed. Just as Owen was beginning to wonder if they would ever see the light of day again, the walls of the stairwell widened and were illuminated by dim shafts of light piercing the darkness through an oaken door. Pushing it open, Owen gasped at the marvel of the leafy canopy which spread above them. Oh my. It is a lot of trees. Okay. Good bookmark. They were not alone. Gorath's pulse quickened as he saw the lone figure approach, but when it became apparent they were not being attacked, he relaxed a bit, squinting slightly in an attempt to see who was about to join them. McKenna Bandok. It's an awful mess from here on out. Wyverns have come in from the mountains and have singed things up a bit. If we hadn't been beating back flames this past few weeks, we'd been through a month sooner. I don't know how many roads are passable at this stage. With kin of yourn that come and helped us clear out the mess of the mine, left as soon as word reached us that fires were approaching Elvandar. Where did the wyverns come from? Where else, lad? The Northlands. Some new bastard or Mordor leader, I hear, harassing your kinfolk. I hope you haven't any kits in harm's way. No. What of the Mordor? A few is what had the nerve to cross over from the moorland have already got themselves skewered, though I know that Prince Kaelin has been on the frontier looking for others. The biggest concern as yet is to put out the flames and get help to those that got trapped behind it all. Tell me about Prince Kaelin. Prince Kaelin leads? What of War Leader Tomas? Poor news indeed. 3 days ago, Tomas led a band of elves to stem raiders what had come over from the river near Moorland. They beat the raiders back alright, but in the melee, the warlord took a thrust to his side with a tainted blade. They had to carry him back to Elvandar, though I understand it wasn't without a struggle. Tomas wanted to stay, but word was carried back to Aglarana of his condition, and that was the end of that. Prince Kaelin assumed control of the patrols at that point, and I ken he's still up near the northeastern fringe of the forest carving up Moradel. Does the war leader yet live? That lad has ever been a fighter, and tenacious one at that. Sooner he'll let them cut off a leg than succumb to this poison. I would no worry. I think it took your kin for a turn, though, seeing Tomas fall. I've never heard of it happening in the 15 years he's been with your folk. What was this about clear roads? We are required in Elvandar quickly. You mentioned fires? Extinguished now, though not without a fair portion of foot stomping and bucket carrying. Well, I thought for a while the whole forest might become all one ferocious blaze, but Tathar and the rest of Queen Aglarana's spellweavers managed to put a halt to that business. Then we should have no difficulty returning to Elvandar. I don't know I would exactly say that. There's still a fair number of those wyverns flapping about the forest, though Tathar's been working night and day to bring the blighters down. Even taught Prince Kaelin a little bit of spellcraft what can bend the will of those cantankerous lizards, but I understand it still hasn't put an halt to the raids. What of the dwarves? Oh, we volunteered a few men, but as you elves don't much like outsiders in your realm, we've respected your borders. King Dolgan did send a few volunteers to help out the Elf Queen, but a lot of them took a terrible weariness once they entered the forest and could go no further. They must have fell afoul of one of your fabled sleeping glades. Caldara? If we may face wyverns, it may be wise if we had our armor repaired. Are there any armor crafters in Caldara? Are there any leaves in Elvandar? You've gone daft. Of course there are armor crafters in Caldara. You don't have to go all that way, though. I can repair it for a few gold, and if you watch close, you might even learn a bit about the craft of repairing armor. Does 100 sovereigns suit you? Not right now. Don't mind if we check everyone else's prices first, do you? That's your right, I suppose, but I'm the best there is this side of the Grey Towers. Be it on your own head if a Mordor sinks the sword up to the haft through your innards. I mean, I guess I will mark you, even though you are at 100% already. Alright, so, yep, that's the entrance. Can I just move through these trees? I can. What time is it? It is daytime, we just, everything is just dark. Fair enough. Can you talk again? Maybe I'll just go back in. Alright, and I'm curious. Alright. will time actually pass? Time does pass, okay. Click, thank you. Another pair of eyes and arms and hopefully a brain betwixt. I'm glad to see the fires haven't burnt the two of you to a crisp. We may need some help with the folks up north. An elf sprinter came by here not more than a few eye blinks ago and said that Prince Kalen and his escorts were set upon by wyverns. As yet, the young prince may have survived, but 3 of the war leader's men are struck dead, and the war leader Tomas has been poisoned by Mordel Arrow. 100 sovereigns is fine. Suits me just fine. What do we need to do? Well, lad, I'd be much obliged if you'd remove any armor you might have on under that tunic of yours, and if your elf friend would do the same, we'll get to work. Now, just watch what I do. Someone told me once that a few dents in the armor can actually be beneficial. Something about them catching blows that would ordinarily scrape along the surface and into the chinks. Makes some sort of sense when you think about it, I suppose. No, it really doesn't. No. Dent would funnel a blade into an already weakened point. This is also why you don't have boob plate. If you sculpt breasts onto a breastplate, it drives the blade right into the sternum, which is not exactly where you want a sword or an axe to go, or a spear or anything else. Maybe it'd be a good idea to make armor so that it already has bumps, facets. If it already had them built in, then the armor... So you're already finished? Aye, finished. You'll find your armor is in as good a condition as it can be, lad. Though I dare say you'd have learned a great deal more if you spent more time listening and less time talking. Alright, goodbye. Owen's armor craftability has increased. Yep. Garth is as good as he can get. And, Owen's armor craft is up to 60. Very nice. And also, 100%, 100%. Works for me. Alright, let's go ahead and rest since it is late. I should probably have you use that. And there we go. Alright. Get on to the road here. So we got some buildings out here. What do we got? Hello? Knock, knock. Owen knocked on the door. Hickory-scented pipe smoke slid underneath, curled gently around his feet. The smell had barely reached his nose when the door was flung open and they were greeted by a smiling dwarf. Great day! Come in, laddies! Join us! Over his left shoulder they could see several other dwarves seated around a small wooden table onto which they were tossing small square stones. Introductions completed, they were invited to join the game. Only 5 sovereigns, what do you say? I say, does this get me something? Because I might want to know. Don't see that. Right. Sure, why not? Standing around the table, Owen was given a stone, and after a count of 3, all were thrown onto the table. Klapka! Yelled one of the dwarves, grabbing the stone thrown by Owen. You lose, lad. He scooped up all the coins into his lap. What? 'Twas a double dragon. The first to yell Klapka and grab the other stone is the winner, said the dwarf. Care to try again? Sure. Righta, boys, drop 'em in the pot and pick up your stones. Once again, they tossed their stones on the table at the count of 3. This time, 2 of the dwarves stood up excitedly and yelled, Vuka! Vuka! They picked up their stones and tossed them down again. After the second throw, one dwarf slammed his fist on the table, and the other, grinning broadly, scooped all the coins into his lap. Ah, Vuka stones. Care to try your luck again, lads? Sure. Very good. I think your luck is about to change, said the dwarf. They tossed the stones on the table for a third time, the strange markings on each side flipping and spinning wildly as they bounced across the table. Tabled, said one of the dwarves cheerfully. All the coins stay on the table. Will you play again? Sure. Owen tossed 5 more coins onto the table. Once again, at the count of 3, he threw his stone. This time, the settling of the stones was greeted by amazed silence as all the dwarves stared at the table. Ah! Yelled one dwarf. It cannot be! The others quickly joined in, and soon all were whispering and arguing amongst themselves in a language Owen couldn't understand. Finally, while the others looked on in disgust, the dwarf who had met them at the door spoke. "You threw a dragon, lad." Realizing the import wasn't sinking in, he continued. "You threw a dragon, and we all threw vukas." Did we win? Owen asked, still confused. "Kill me now. Aye, you won everything!" The other dwarves began to dump handfuls of coins on the table. "Must be over 100 gold pieces. You'll be playing again, won't you?" Before the dwarves had a chance to complain, Gorth picked up the coins and headed for the door. "You've got to give us a chance to win our money back," the dwarf yelled after them. They pretended not to hear. I have no idea how much I just got out of that, but, whatever. I mean, I have plenty of money, so it was all in good fun, right? They knocked on the door and waited for a reply. There was some shuffling sounds, and the door swung open, and they found themselves staring down at a dwarf. "Well, bless me bones, what brings you lads so far from home?" He invited them into his house and offered them some fresh water for their pouches. He asked of their journey, and they told him briefly. "You've heard about the troubles being had by the elves, then?" he asked. "Trouble?" questioned Owen. "Aye, damn this thing. Baby dragons have been attacking Elvander. War leader Tomas has been doing his best to keep them out, but there's only so much he could do." They talked more of the attacks and of the strange rock-like inhabitants that had been spotted in the Macmordain Cadal. They surprised him with a description of how they had killed one of the creatures. Actually, two. Thanking him for his kindness, they left. Owen pushed open the door. "Looks like this used to be a tavern of some kind," he said, "but it looks as though this place was abandoned some time ago." Anything out here? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. This is a very sylvan dwarven village, I must say. Gorth halted, blinking slowly. He put a hand over his stomach, then looked towards his confused-looking companion. "Hold for a moment, Owen. I wish to speak to you." "Why, what is it?" "I merely wish to prepare you for the things that may transpire before we reach Elvander. There are magics, things ancient, which have kept the Mordel from crossing into the forests of the Eladel, but I feel these things have been awakened. I may have some difficulty in completing our journey." "Difficulty? What do you mean?" "It was not my intent to alarm you, only to reassure you that no matter what may happen between here and Elvander, I have come to consider you a friend." Yeah, if someone says that, that's kind of a worrying sign. Knock, knock. Owen pushed the door open. "The place is abandoned," Gorth said, looking around the room. "Maybe the occupants left something behind we can use. Let's have a look." 3 spoiled rations, and a quality 59 shell. Okay. There's another building out there, and there is a shop. Good. "Looks like this used to be a shop of some kind," he said. "There's no one doing business here in here now. Dang it. I have things I want to sell." The house seemed to be abandoned. Prying open the front door, they entered cautiously. Inside, they found an assortment of furniture items, no doubt too heavy or bulky to move. Though it appeared there wasn't anything of value, the house was worth a careful search. And we got a Mordel brooch. Quality 71. Which, again, I would like to sell these things. Owen banged on the door with the side of his fist. After a moment, a man's voice called from inside. "What do you want?" "Could you give us some fresh water for our pouches?" asked Owen. "There's a well just down the road. Now leave me alone." Further conversation didn't seem worth the effort, so they left. Well, there is a well over here that seems to be phased through the trees. No one had answered the first knock, so Owen knocked again. Finally, a hoarse voice called to them, heavy with a dwarven accent. "Who's calling me?" "We come from the kingdom. Can we come in?" "Aye, the door's open. Do as you like." They opened the door and entered a dimly lit room, sparsely furnished. In one corner they could make out a shape, apparently laying on a bedroll. Come in, rest your bones a minute," said the dwarf in a tired voice. With his eyes closed as though he were seeing the event on the inside of each lid, he told them of his journey from Kaldar, and of the wyverns he had seen circling Elvander. A bloody Moradella roaming about, too. Took a sword in the side from one. He rolled over, and they could see the deep gash extending from his hip halfway up his hairy back. Can we do anything for you? Owen winced at the gaping wound. Nah, it looks worse than it is. I just need a few more days to rest up, that's all. They wished him well, and left quietly. Okay. Can I please have a shop, though? That looks like it could be a shop. Knock, knock. A bell rang. No sooner had Owen managed to get the door open than he found the shopkeeper was escorting him inside. Split Tree Goods. The lay of the goods store was comfortably familiar, arranged in such common-sense fashion that it took only a few moments for Owen to locate the items which interested him. Key of lineages, huh? Powder bag. Some rations if I needed it. I suppose I could restock on some, rope. Silverthorn anti-venom would be good, too. Alright, first of all, do you want this? Yes. Do you want this? Yes. Do you want these? Yeah, I'll sell it. I don't even know what they do, but meh, whatever. I don't think I'll use them. 51 sovereigns from the brooch. 1 sovereign, 6 royals for the other shell. Alright, keep you stacked up on rations. Let's see, 14. Eight. Okay, take that. Only 10 restoratives, unfortunately. Suppose I can always come back if I run low. $230 for the clerical oilcloth. Sure, let's go ahead and get one. That's good. What about torches? I'm just going to accept that. It's not very much money. There we go. Alright. So we do have a shop, so that is very handy. We have a pathway here. What is that? That's a stump. Alright. What does the stump have? Owen approached the wooden stump cautiously. Seeing that it was hollow, he looked inside. A Gilder's Passkey. I'll take that. Not too shabby. Let's get back onto the path if I can find it. Game? There we go. Apparently I was taking too many long strides or something. Let's go ahead and rest. Just so that it's bright out as we explore. It sounded like distant war drums. Owen stopped and cocked in one ear, a puzzled expression on his face. He was about to comment on the strange sound when a cool wind suddenly kicked up swirls of dust around him. Looking up, he was terrified to see the sound was not caused by the beating of drums. It was the beating of a very large pair of wings. The creature landed, prepared for combat. Hello? Hello? I was expecting a wyvern, but I don't. I don't see them. Oh, we're getting stealth. The enemy crept toward them. We're gonna have to fight, Owen said. We turn around and they'll simply pounce on us as if we were mice. Gorath laughed bitterly. I think mice would have a better chance. Well, let's go ahead and get the skin of the dragon on Gorath, then. Okay, so they have some magic abilities. Gambit of the Eight creates a magic mine. I think it's Skyfire. I don't know that that would work. Let's go with Fetters of Rhyme. Please don't do anything. I don't know if his defense can go up when I'm using Skin of the Dragon, though. But 186 damage. And that is enough for a kill. Go ahead and recover some stuff. And down goes the other one. Gorath motioned for silence. Though it had been years since he had led his kin through the skirts of the Eladel forest on their escape from the Great Heart, the sights and smells were as familiar to him as the lines on the tips of his fingers. Yet there was an unnatural feeling about the area they stood in. Something moves nearby, but it is not one of our blood or any forest animal whose movements I know. I thought I was hearing something, a high-pitched sort of whine. Coming from the north? It is the same sound. Might be to our benefit if we were to see what the source is. What if it's something that thinks we look like dinner? If it wished to harm us, better that we know what stalks us and have the advantage in attack than to allow it to come and eat us when it chooses a moment, don't you think? The choice is yours. Okay. Nothing on that corpse. And nothing on that corpse. Not exactly surprised by that. Well, you know what? I was gonna say that we should go north and take a look, but this episode has run long, so let's go ahead and call it here. When we come back next time, we'll see what they're talking about. Some kind of sound to the north. Might be more wyverns. We'll find out next time. See you then, everyone.